We might be drunk, we might be drunk. As long as we are hanging out, you know we might be drunk. Raise a glass, let's talk shit. Pet peeves, Rex, and a bit. Maybe drunk, we might be drunk. Yeah.
We're back, baby.
Yeah, it's a new week with the same us.
But this time we have our first guest.
You got that right.
Oh, hell yeah.
Find a little estrogen in the house. Ooga.
Oh, God.
All right.
That was. I guess we're gonna keep that. All right. Well, Rachel Feinstein, our good friend, is in the building.
You could just introduce me as one of the guys.
Well, you're here, so we have to make you like girly cocktails, so we're making a special girly cocktail. Beer Jew. Have you met Beer Jew?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's our in-house
Only in the form of my grandpa, Zadie. Shout out to Zadie.
Zadie in the house.
Zadie fucking killing it right now. Dead.
You order drinks that are like, girly.
Dumb twat drinks.
There you go.
I order just the
DTDs.
bartender immediately decides that I'm a pointless hole. I just order such dumb drinks. Like I order the drinks that the girls that heckle me order. Like I am like a Malpine plate, just fucking characterless.
Pineapple, a lot of pineapple vodka.
Yeah, but I've graduated because the sugar was making me too wildly ill. So now I just I like a tequila soda or a vodka drink. But you could, I want to have a good tequila, but truly you could give me well and I wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is our producer, Matt, who is always on it, looks Rachel up before the show, and her favorite drink is a Negroni. And I said, that's not true.
That's a lie.
He was looking up a different Rachel Feinstein.
Oh, my God. That's the sculptor that I always get confused with.
Sculptor?
And yes, there's a famous. Can I tell this story right now?
Pull her up.
I don't want to mess
see
her
her?
up.
Who's hotter?
Okay. There's a famous sculptor. She's hotter. She's really hot. And,
come on.
And
I don't
she's a
believe it.
famous sculptor, and she gets.
No, you got the first Google search.
Hey!
I just want to thank my team at UTA. No, she's a sculptor, and she was on the cover of she was they did an article rather about her in Vogue, and she's best friends with Mick Jagger and Sarah
come
Jessica
on.
Parker, and she just has this life I've wanted. Her husband painted her for years, and then he met the woman he'd been painting. It's just a man has
That's
never
annoying, though.
adored me like that. My brother's always dating women his wife, it's just everything she does is adorable. I've never had a man feel like that about me. As soon as they meet me, they get angry at what a pig I am. I've never had a guy just be
But you couldn't be with that guy if he was like, Rachel, my darling. You'd be like, shut up.
I want that. When I see a man,
that.
when I see a celebrity couple at a Knicks game, and he just has the guy has one hand on her lower back, I project so much onto their relationship. I'm he protects her in a way my husband
That
will
was the
never
Samanage
protect me.
on my back.
But
no,
anyway, so so Rachel Feinstein is fine as hell, and she
Look at these kids.
I keep getting. I know they have a famous
Beautiful.
Rachel has a
family.
beautiful baby.
Oh,
Frankie
that's
is one
right.
of the most beautiful children I've ever seen.
You told me you weren't
Thank you. That
keeping
I'm
it.
not
means
just
a
saying
lot.
that because I'm a pedophile. I really mean it.
But can I just say that Frankie is a very beautiful kid, and she's very fond of you. Usually she's suspicious of men and actively terrified of Netterman. But
Yeah?
But I just want to say that Rachel Feinstein, the sculptor, so I would get calls from my manager offering me things. This happened to me. He was they want to do a story about you and your fashion choices, and they're going to highlight you in Vogue. So I walked around with fashion profile confidence. I'm I do take some risks. I was telling everybody, I'm yeah, I could say it. Meanwhile, I shop at Forever 21. I'm true moron with fashion. But I believed for weeks that Vogue wanted to do a profile on me.
Yeah.
And then I got quietly uninvited to the profile. They're ooh, yeah, they actually don't. They want this other woman. And then they called me and they were do you want to, Oprah wants to invite you to a private dinner party.
Wow.
Invited the guy that I'm now married. Like he was like, we were just starting to date at the time, and I was like, so Oprah is intrigued by me.
I'm gonna bring my Brooklyn fireman husband.
Yes, and I had
great.
to tell him that she was not like. Do you know you walk differently if you think Oprah is intrigued?
Of
by
course,
you? Like
of
that's
course.
a whole new level of confidence. And then again, I just got softly
You change your
uninvited.
next title of your album to one of Oprah's favorite things.
And then they were like, I called my manager. I was like, listen, they'd said it's the other Rachel Feinstein is the sculptor. We're really sorry. And I was like, listen, I already invited the guy I'm dating. I canceled a fucking gig because I thought I was going to meet Oprah.
Of
Can you
course.
just call them and see
What
if I
gig
can
did you
like get
cancel?
in? I mean, it was like something perfectly worthless, I'm sure. but I was like, can you just see if you can like get us in? It's too actively humiliating to tell this guy I'm newly dating that Oprah doesn't want to meet me after all. It's horrifying. So I told them and they were like,
If your boyfriend's like, I'm going to be honest, I thought you were the sculptor Rachel Feinstein as well.
Right.
This is very confusing.
So they called back and they're like, I was like, just get us in if you can. And he's like, yeah, they're pretty firm that you're not to attend. I think they had a picture of me like at the front door, like the security guard had a
Right.
photograph, like do not let in.
Like the guy at the bodega. Bad checks. Oh, let's try this drink. What do we got here, Beer Jew?
This is basically like a watermelon basil tequila concoction.
Ooh, I
This
love the
smells
color.
incredible. Like the smell coming off this is.
Ooh.
Smells good, like a pad thai.
That's what I was going for.
Dude, this is so good.
That is
This
delightful.
is really good.
Refreshing.
Watermelon, basil,
Woo.
a little Saint Germain.
Oh, this
We know
one.
Dan.
We know Dan St. Germain, our buddy. Yeah,
Wait,
this
what
is
is-
good.
I should have listened the first time. That's not good radio. To ask you again what it is, but now I want this to be my drink because it's
Hey.
really satisfying.
He'll make anything
Really?
delicious, though.
He's good.
We'll call it the Rachel. Rachel
Ooh.
Feinstein. Or I don't know which Rachel Feinstein. Maybe we'll get.
Right now, the
How
Rachel
dare
is
you.
a sandwich.
We'll call
It's
this
a
the not
fun-loving
sculptor.
sandwich and a
It's a good
haircut.
sandwich. It's a good.
It's a Jennifer Aniston's friend's haircut.
That's
Oh,
true.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's from New York.
Jennifer Aniston?
Yeah. I
Is
think
she?
so.
Isn't the Ryder rumor about Jennifer Aniston the one about getting the green M&Ms picked out?
No, that's not her, is it?
No.
Is it?
That's
I
old.
don't think so. Yeah, that came before her.
That guy's like Led Zeppelin or something.
Yeah.
Ozzy.
That Winston Churchill.
There you go. He loved M&Ms. That's what killed him.
Van Halen.
Van Halen. That was it. And it was all just to see if they would do it.
I think it was like to make sure that they're reading the.
They're paying attention. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, I see.
Have you?
Do you have a rider?
Yes, and like
Let's
it's
hear it.
literally
What's in your
nothing
rider?
on it, and there's like two of the saddest. Like it shows you my self-esteem when you read what's on there.
Same
It's
here.
so telling. I'm just like my writers just says like I'm sorry I'm here and I'll see myself out. There's like just like any protein bar. Sorry,
That's what I do. I do the
yeah,
same.
just like a protein bar, water, and sugar-free Red Bull that'll get me through the late show.
Sugar-free
And
Red
none
Bull.
of it's ever there. Like
Why don't you do? You're a Red Bull person?
I mean, I'm not. I don't want to be I don't want to identify that way, but I just need some caffeine to get me through the late show. But when I
feel
order
like-
it, I'm actively humiliated.
You know,
like more
Bob
of a
Saget. I just did Bob Saget's podcast, and he said he was offered a buy-in when Red Bull was getting off the ground for like $20,000. He would have had a huge stake in Red Bull, and he took a sip and he was like, "This stuff tastes like shit."
Yeah, I mean, it does taste like ass.
Yeah.
It does.
And oh God, I hate myself already.
The only thing worse than Red Bull is when you drink with Red Bull. Those people are like, give me a Red Bull and vodka. You're like, oof.
If you have one, I don't judge you, but once you have more than one,
Oh, yeah.
I just don't like Red Bull. I remember I was at a bar once at PJ Clark's, and the bartender, someone ordered a Red Bull, and he goes, "We only do coffee here," and he said it with such disdain, and I kind of respected it.
Hell yeah.
It was
Red
a badass
Bull.
move.
Yeah, I respect. I also have Skinny Pop on it, which Nikki said was good. I called Nikki and asked her what I should put
Nikki
on it.
Glazer.
Yes, because I knew that she respected herself a little more than I respect myself.
Women love
so-
popcorn.
It's good for you.
Well,
It's low-cal.
It's low cal. It's
Yeah.
I assume it'd be one of Oprah's favorite things.
Yes.
But I always feel like even when I ask for like almost nothing, none of it's there. They'll be like, they know what I'm worth and they're correct. Like I'll get there and they'll be like literally just like a do-rag or like a nickel or something.
Do-rag.
What is in your
I like
rider?
an Afro pick. What's that?
What's your rider?
All I have is protein bars, bananas, and beef jerky. Because to me, beef jerky is the height of luxury. I'm like, man, a bag is $6.99.
Yeah.
So I get them to buy it.
They are good.
Right.
Oh, it's great.
Love a jerk.
The problem with the jerky is though, it's so you want to keep it special. Now I'm kind of like used to it because I get it every week. So I took the fun out of it. It's like having Christmas every day.
Yeah.
It's satisfying though.
I love
Jerky.
it.
I love it.
I do fresh fruit and
That's good.
fresh fruit's good, and then iced coffee. Always.
Oh yes, I asked for cold brew. That's true.
Cold
brew's-
brew.
And you get a little oat milk in there. You get a nice little coffee before the show. You wake up a little bit.
That's not bad. Cold brew gives me the anxiety though.
A lot of clubs will just have liquor in there too, which is a weird move. They're like, "We got you liquor." I'm like, "Don't you guys have a full bar? Like, you didn't have to
Yeah.
buy me liquor."
That's true.
I think it's
yeah,
because of
they
this
get-
podcast.
Yeah, probably.
This is making me realize like where I'm at because these things don't happen to me. And then they just give you sneakers, right? And then you're like, I got
right.
shoes on.
That's Eddie Griffin, though.
Oh, really?
You heard that story, right?
No.
New Air Force One sneakers every weekend.
And he
Oh
doesn't
my
take them
God.
either.
Yeah, he just does it.
It's
to
a
do
control
it.
thing that's
Yeah. Power move.
hysterical. I love a power move.
I
Great
like
for the
it.
waiter working that weekend. Like, all right, I'll take these. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Have you been on the road a lot lately?
Yes, I have been on the road a lot lately.
Where have you been?
Where was I last weekend? Springfield, Missouri. Not name dropping.
going
but,
there.
Quit bragging.
it's actually a pretty fun club.
It was good.
Yeah,
That guy's so nice, Chris. who
He's
runs
a
it.
good hang. Like he walks you all the way up to your room. Like whatever you need to bring, he'll walk you. He'll take you up to the
And he
elevator.
tries to get in the
bring
room.
you-
He's like, "Come on,
He doesn't do
there's
that
one
with me.
kiss."
No, I mean he does. He's so sweet. He fingers you until you fall asleep.
He's like, "I just want to make sure everything's good." Right?
Yeah. Nice
Yeah,
guy.
no, he's great.
That's in your rider.
I think he was part of Kanye West's presidential campaign.
What?
I think he was.
Wow.
I'm not making that up. He was like, "I'm not in the city right now because I'm working with Kanye," and I was like, "What?" I thought it was a joke, and then he was like,
Wow.
"No, I'm like trying to get it off the ground."
It sounds
Are
like a
you
joke 'cause I
serious?
forgot he ran.
Yeah.
Do you ever have this where somebody takes you around? He took me around like town and he was giving me all
yeah.
the facts of the town, you know? And they were hysterical. He was like, on this corner, the first Munchausen's disease diagnosis was given. I was like, that is the best small town fact I've ever heard. He's like, first Munchausen. And he's like, and I know a friend that fucked her. And I was like, wait a second.
Those are the saddest facts. They're known for cashew chicken there.
That's right.
That's their thing.
That's their
Springfield,
thing.
Missouri invented cashew chicken, and I'm like, "What the fuck is cashew chicken?"
It's some kind of Chinese food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just,
What do you mean, what is it?
well,
You're
it's
a
just
Jew and
fried
you should
chicken
know it
with-
well.
Yeah, but
Christmas.
yeah, there it is.
Oh, you
I was always a General Tso's guy.
really? Yeah, I guess you're right. You were, because I've gone to Chinese.
It's just
with
weird
you
that it's
so.
born in Missouri. Cashew chicken.
I
It just
never
feels-
would-
It is pretty good.
It's all right, yeah. It's no
not-
Kung Pao. Kung Pao is great.
Is Kung Pao your go? What's your go-to orders at a Chinese place?
Pepper steak.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I love the
I
beef
like-
and broccoli.
I do like. I guess I like sesame chicken or
Yeah.
mixed vegetables.
Mixed
If I
veggies are
start to
good.
think about meat, like in that type of situation, I go for the mixed
Sesame
vegetables.
chicken is Sesame chicken is General Tso's that transitioned. You know, it just just went through a little thing.
What is the difference? Is there a difference?
The seeds.
Ah.
By the way, you guys, are we on camera? Because I can sit differently if I know.
No,
I'm
no,
not
we're on camera, but you're looking great. Everything's
No,
working.
I'm gonna look fat if I sit like.
You can
That's
move that
not
ottoman
true.
if you want.
Women are gonna hate you because Rachel is so thin, and you can't just say like I'm fat when you're so thin.
Oh, thanks
Yeah.
for saying that. But people tell me online, so that's where I get a lot of my
sorry about that.
insecurities.
That's a good place to get weight loss tips.
Yeah, that's true. Good
On
motivation.
YouTube. Yeah.
Like I'll get people arguing about me, like this guy, Mr. Twat Waffles, that always right. I was up at like 3 a.m. reading all my comments. You're never supposed to do that. There's
No,
this
I
guy,
do it too.
Mr. Twat Waffles, that hates me, and he'll give me a brand new insecurity. Twat Waffles. He's really active under my videos, and there's other guys that stick up for me. And he was like, he's like total man voice, you know, wouldn't fuck her, whatever.
Right. But he must love you if he's watching everything. That's the weird fine line.
Yeah, the thin line between love and hate.
I don't
right?
know. I mean,
Well, they become if they comment on everything,
I
they've
guess
got
you're
a
right.
thing.
He seems so against me, and then there's this other guy, Muff Eater 69, that sticks up for me, and he's like,
If you have a YouTube profile and you get to comment, there should have to be like a bio attached.
Yes.
If you get to weigh in, we should get to know something about you.
Right. It'd also be fun to check the other Rachel Feinstein and see if Twat Waffles is right on her. See if
Are we
he-
calling this the other Rachel Feinstein this episode?
You got that right. The sculptor.
The sculpt. It's so
Although you
funny.
sculpt your act. You're an artist.
I'm no such thing. But I have to say, like, I'm a little drunk already. What were we
Really?
just talking about?
What a lightweight.
Aren't these good?
Yes, they are.
She was hammered when she got here, for the record.
Is there blow on my nose?
It's a little blood there.
No, wait. I had something to say. What were we just talking
twat
about?
waffles,
Oh
comments.
yes, twat waffles.
Muff diver.
So then he goes, Muff Eater was sticking up for me, and he was like, "Come on, man, do you think she actually has time to read this shit? She's out living her life." I'm like, 1 point for twat waffles because here I am.
This is an Avengers I would watch. It was twat waffle versus Muff Eater, superheroes.
The extended universe of the internet commenters.
Exactly. Now we're getting somewhere, Marvel. Pick it up.
Man, that's
one thing, though, men don't get. I've never had a woman defend me on, YouTube comments. I feel like a guy will chime in and be like, "Hey, buddy, don't say that to her."
I mean, but they're so furious.
Is that called
at us.
white
It's
knighting?
I look at Sam's videos. I'm like, great guy, love the act. Keep going, Sam, go get him. It's like they're cheering on a baseball team, and mine are just like, dumb bitch, die.
YouTube comments for women. It's definitely a different game.
Oh no!
Oh,
it's like,
yeah, it's
they
all
hate
looks.
us in a wild way.
Yeah.
They're aggressive. There's danger in the comments. You're like, oh, these people would harm me if they saw me up close.
We get homo and stuff like that.
Sure.
What a
Yeah.
douche. What a
Pussy.
dweeb. Pussy, yeah. Cuck.
And I'm kind of like, you think pussy hurts me? I'd call myself a pussy.
I know. You can't do worse than this noggin for insults.
Do you let it affect you, Mark?
Oh, yeah. And I don't
Mark
want it
reads
to.
every comment.
I read them all, and the messages and everything. And the worst is when they get one right. It's one thing if you call me a gay guy or something. I'm like, all right, I can deal with that. But if you're like, he says this a lot, and you're like, oh, I do.
Yeah, they
And
give you
that's
good
when
notes sometimes that hurt.
Yeah, and I was like, I do say, I didn't even know that. Oh my God, and that's what fucks me up. When they're right.
When it is semi-constructive.
Yes.
When you're like, yeah, I could stand to have better word economy. You got me there.
Yeah. One guy wrote, he says, I don't know a lot. And I watched it, and I was like, I said I don't know 10 times.
Wow.
Crushed me.
Damn.
I mean, but that's not. Yeah, I know that arrests me. But then when I hear it about you, I'm like, oh, it's kind of helpful. It's
It's
not
kind of helpful. But when you just feel vulnerable, you're
and
like,
so
oh.
seen. Yeah, 'cause-
Seen.
Yes,
That's it.
because you're just so exposed. Because you get up on stage and especially a stylist will put me in an outfit, and then I'll look at it later. I'm like, I look like a fucking asshole, and then all the comments underneath there.
Everything you put on later never looks as good. You get closed goggles when I'm at the store and I put something on. I'm like, this works, and then I get home and I'm like, I look like shit.
Yeah,
I
same.
feel like I take these big swings, and I feel like a
Yes.
fool a lot of times.
And you never wear it again.
Yes, a
It's in my
stylist
closet.
told me to wear these shiny tiger boots, and I'm like, ugh, I look like a freshly divorced real estate agent searching for the next one.
Flipping
I
houses.
do. I look like the kind of woman that would pick up somebody at an airport bar, and a lot of the things that I get put in. And then when I get out, I got to the club in Springfield, and somebody on the lineup was like. He was like, oh, boots, shiny, you're having a crazy night. And right then, I was like, oh, just kill yourself, Rachel. Just him just noticing my sassy choice. I was so immediately disgusted with myself, he's like, oh, boots. I'm like, God damn it.
Oh, yeah.
That enough will just make me want to throw them in the trash. You know
I don't
what
want
I mean?
people to
Same.
notice my outfit.
Yes.
I want them to just be like, oh, hey. I don't want to.
That's the sign of a good dresser. If you
Really?
can't, at least in my opinion, if I can't remember what a
good
man's
dresser's
wearing for
risky,
men,
though.
if I can't remember what a guy's wearing, then he's a good dresser. Because
Interesting.
it's for me, it's like that
Safe-
with guys.
safe is good.
Can't be
Yes,
too
I don't want to see a
casual,
guy
though?
take a lot of just big swings. Speaking of swings, I don't want to see a man. With
I want to be fucking Wade Boggs. I just want to get on base. I don't want to be
Right.
hitting home runs. You see these people that are like, this guy's a good dresser. I'm like, he's wearing a fedora. That's a fucking ballsy move.
Yes.
Yeah, that's tough.
You got to be
Good
like
dressers are generally don't want to be inside of you. That's what I feel like as a woman. If he's a really fine
like being a great
dresser, I'm like, he
dancer.
doesn't want to be inside a woman. What's that?
It's like being a great dancer. If
Yes.
you're doing the tango, you're gonna be like, nah, I don't want to fuck. I just did the tango.
I thought women like dancing guys.
I don't know.
I don't know either. It's tough. I feel like
I think in
black
Latin
guys,
America,
Latin America and
or
black guys, they can cut a rug and it's fine. But if there's a white
Yes.
guy,
That dance was amazing.
good. Dude,
That could
Matt,
be that.
that's a gift.
is that a
That
gift?
is a
Let's
gift.
gift that.
Yes, please give us a couple shots
What
of
were
that.
was it?
What? That was like a tango
I love the
salsa.
way you held yourself.
I've seen men do that.
Yeah.
They usually have a vest on.
You ever at a wedding and you just see a comic break out and you're like, you can dance? It's
Ryan
so
Hamilton.
weird. Ryan Hamilton.
He can
cut
twinkle
a
toes.
rug.
Dancer. He can.
He can cut a
Unbelievable.
rug.
Fine rug.
And a good dresser, by the way.
He is. Because you know what? Certain people, he wears like kind of well-fitting jackets. You get old and you realize all you need is for the clothes to really fit.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's the thing is the fit changes. In the 90s, it was loosey-goosey, and now it's tighty-whitey.
Yeah.
What?
I think jeans got tighter, shirts got tighter.
You see blazers in the
yes.
90s. Like, you watch like old episodes of like Seinfeld, you're like, that's a baggy fucking blazer.
Exactly.
Or you see like Larry Sanders and you see Shanley, you're like, you're wearing a double-breasted blazer. Like
the suit pants are this wide. It's like a zoot suit.
But that's coming back in for women, that's how I covered my
Baggy.
pregnancy. I just wore a lot of Paula Poundstone blazers. I just dressed like B. Arthur the entire time I was pregnant.
Right.
I didn't know you weren't supposed to hide it. Like, I would like whisper to all my friends, like, don't tell anyone I'm pregnant. And they're like, you're married.
Someone gave it
They're
away.
like, you're married. You don't need to hide it this long.
Well,
I hid it like a Catholic teenager.
Who gave it away? Someone gave it away at the cellar, didn't they?
Well, fucking Keith, he kept going like, why is Rachel's body disappointing all of a sudden? He's like, everybody, let's do a fun quiz. What's wrong with Rachel's body?
Keith, when you wore a blazer once to the cellar, what did he call you, like a district attorney or something?
He's like, Rachel dresses like a district attorney. That one hurts so bad.
Because
it was so accurate. It was such a perfect... Yeah, I do dress like a district attorney or like at least a legal assistant. You know, a lot of times I feel like I dress like a woman leaving an abusive relationship. Like there's a wildness to my choices.
Keith is an incredible ball buster.
He's the best.
I remember
he's so funny.
I auditioned to the cellar. I remember I didn't even know him, and he was just like, "Look at him! Look how scared he is!" And I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?"
Well, he cuts
Everyone
to
was
the
laughing.
truth. Yeah, that's what he's good at. He
does,
just zones in
But
on that bullseye.
It's never a mean truth. It's always like a truth that's really funny.
Right.
It's really funny, but he's so smart about it. But it often will. Like,
I've had people ball bust where they're like, "That joke sucks" or whatever, and I'm just like, "Oh, it's not good." And they're like, "I'm ball busting." I'm like, "That's not ball. That's like an actual thing people would say."
Right. That's an insult.
That's like.
yes.
You know.
Mark does that, but he's worked on it. It used to be that whenever I saw Mark, I was like, just get prepared to have your feelings violently hurt.
I didn't know I was doing it.
When you went to therapy for like a few months, you got a little gentler.
Yeah. I was out of love, you know. It was a hey, zing. I thought I was doing what Keith was doing, but I was calling people
Mark's
fat.
like, "You're pregnant."
You're pregnant, you
my
whore.
God.
They want him ball busting.
Yeah, but Keith will say something that like you ever do this where you leave, you're like, nobody sees that. Like I had the huge zit, and I've had like terrible acne my whole life, and I'm like, nobody's thinking about it. You're the one who sees it. I get to the cellar, and he's like, why is Rachel's zit blinking at me?
Oh,
Rachel's zit keeps winking at me. God damn it! And I was like, fuck. Like it just, I
That
don't want
one
to be
hurts.
outside anymore. Like that's it. I wanted to just be buried under the ground.
He's good.
Ugh, it was perfect.
Quinn is the same way. They just know how to shit on you. I remember I showed up with a mustache once, and Quinn was like, "You know what really bugs me is you think this looks good." He just really was furious. They
Yeah.
were all angry that I had a mustache.
They hate it. That bugs me. I remember one time DeRosa showed up with a brand new leather jacket. Big mistake.
Disgusting.
And Keith goes, "Oh, it looks like you bought your attitude jacket."
Oh.
And DeRosa was like, he just took it off. I mean, he got him.
Oh,
You
God
can't really
damn
take
it.
fashion risks at the comedy.
No.
Cellar. If you roll in and you're, I mean, that's probably why we dress so conservatively. Because if you take a risk and you even if you change any big change, anything noticeable,
Yeah.
If you go in, if I rolled in a blazer, they're just like, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
Who do you think you are?
you doing,
Oh, this is your blazer.
Right.
Oh, this is your corporate act you're gonna do tonight?
Yes, exactly. But do you guys have the thing where you're at the Gap or H&M and you're putting things on? I just hear people going, "What are you, crazy? You can't pull that off. You suck. You can't wear that." So I don't buy it.
Yeah.
Do you have that in the dressing room, or is that just
Yes, I have it in my mind all day.
All
Just
day?
all day. It's just, bitch, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
You're a fool, and everyone knows your number. Everyone knows you're full of shit. And also, it happens to us. So, like, whatever self-esteem we might have developed has been beaten out, I feel like, from just what we've done to our psyches by going into stand-up. Like, just the nature of the career alone. I feel like, what would I have been like had I not done this to my mind and like starting in my early 20s?
We'd be much happier probably if we didn't do stand up. But I mean, like,
You'd be a sculptor.
But
We would be happier, but we wouldn't have as much fun. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
That's true.
we would be more at peace, but we would but we just have the most fun.
But everyone's depressed, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Everyone's got shit, you know? Like even people that are like, things are going great. Like, you don't see them when that goes down, when they come down from that. There's a
Right.
come down from that, too.
Good point.
I did realize that during COVID, and you're right, that everybody is sizzling with mental illness.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
You just scroll on Twitter and you're like, oh, good, nobody is healthy. Good.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
But
That's true.
at least hurt yourself. I like when people hurt themselves. Like I love a cutter.
That's a great...
you know?
Wait a second. Why do you like
This is, what the fuck are you talking about?
Because at least with a cutter, you're like, I'm going through shit, cut me. But other people try to cut you.
Well, you love a cutter as opposed to a mass shooter, but don't say
Yes.
you love a cut. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, I think a cutter's a
I
good
love
person.
when someone kills himself. That's
Oh,
great.
I don't want to kill you. No, I don't want anybody to die. But I'm saying if you're going to do a little harm
Do not
to your arm.
encourage cutting, Mark.
I know, but that's the thing I promise about Mark is he can't hear his words. So
Well, I'm being funny. I'm
It's like-
joking. This is a joke. You guys don't realize I'm joking.
No, we do. We're,
Oh, okay,
we're
okay.
trying to improv
Oh,
your fucking...
all right. I don't think people know I'm joking all the time.
Okay, well, you're joking, and we're trying to fucking yes and you
Oh, all right.
by being, you know...
But yeah, I don't want anybody to cut
you are.
themselves.
I did.
When
see,
you say outrageous, I have to go voice
Ah.
of reason. That's what
I
comedy
see.
is. I have to explain what I'm doing.
All right. Well, I just didn't know if you actually knew.
no,
I know
you
you're
don't
fucking
want
kidding.
people
Well, you-
to harm themselves.
You're a
No.
comedian? Yeah, I fucking know
All right.
you.
All right. Just check.
I've known you for how long?
This is a comment section. Sorry, what were you going to say, Rach? I cut you off there.
The comment section is going to be like, Mark and Sam wore that?
I know, right? I'm waiting for it.
I mean, I do think that. I have nothing to say, actually.
Oh, come
Drink is
on.
hitting you. Look at that.
Give her another one. She'll
I'm a
spill the
little
beans in
greasy.
2 seconds.
I was gonna try to whip something.
It's
up,
so funny.
some
I'm
stamps, but I got
literally
nothing.
at the doctor this morning getting injections in my neck.
Crazy.
Because I, my neck is fucked. And the doctor's like, all right, no alcohol. And I was like, oh, I have a drinking podcast. And he was like, what? And I was like, well, we have a podcast where we drink. I have to have at least one. And he was like, all right, you can have one.
Now, do you get a note with the doctor? Because I
What,
feel like this could get you out of...
For you to tell me?
Well, you could get out of oral.
I just show Mark. I'm like, it says I can't drink today. And you're like, all right, I guess.
Right.
What do you mean a note?
Well, people say I have a doctor's note, but I've never actually seen a doctor's
But what
note.
would I use it for?
Well,
I want to do my job.
I know. I was making a joke. If you want to get out of eating a girl out, you're like my neck. It feels like a Curb episode. They got the neck thing. I can't be in that position. You can blow me though.
You guys, I just thought about how greasy I must look, and I'm putting on powder. Take in the sadness of that. Like,
No
You
grease.
look fine.
You look
what
great.
are you talking about?
No grease.
You're smart. You're funny. You're just a little insecure.
People
That's
like
all.
you.
There's no mirror here.
Al Franken.
Yeah, he's at the cellar now.
Stuart Smalley.
Somebody called me greasy in a video, and I was like, I am greasy. I'm a greasy ass bitch.
Greasy
What does
hurts.
greasy even mean?
I know it's a temporary state.
Greasy
guys.
is good.
I had one where I was
Thank you.
sweating, and somebody goes, "He's so shiny," and I was like, "Ah."
Wasn't
I
that
am.
the time you had food poisoning though?
Yeah, that was bad.
Are you
Mark,
serious?
Mark taped his Comedy Central half hour.
It was
He had food poisoning, so he was sweating his ass off.
Oh my
pull
God.
up a photo. I look like a different person.
Whoever did the makeup for those half hours made us all orange for some
I
reason.
know.
I
We-
look like
we
pull
look
up a picture of me, Sam Morril half hour if you can. I look orange, dude.
We look like the Real Housewives. It's way overdone.
It's a half hour special, Matt, for both of us. We all look orange. Someone just posted one. Yeah, there it is. The first one, the blue.
The first one.
Look how orange I am.
Oh yeah. Aren't you glad you're not Sam?
Let's see, Mark.
Pulled mine a half-hour special. I had H. pylori. It wasn't even food poisoning. It was a virus.
Oh my
Look at that.
God.
Look
Yeah,
how fat and bloated I was.
You look different.
I took an antibiotic. I went back down in one day.
Damn.
Look at me. I look like fucking...
You would never
John
know. You
Panette.
don't look fat or bloated. You look handsome, actually.
Oh, get out. Look at that one. Look at me. I'm like a fucking jack-o'-lantern. Jesus
You look
Christ.
surprised there. You look like you're taking a shit and someone opened the stall.
I was actually shitting down my pants like I had the bubbles in the back. It was
Really?
diarrhea all day long. This
Bubbles.
virus, it's called H. pylori. It was a nightmare. You get it from eating
Really?
feces. Yeah.
What is it?
You get it from ingesting feces.
Damn.
I ate a gal's back door in Wisconsin.
No.
Yeah, which sounds like a
Oh
country
my
song.
Stars.
Yeah. I'll send you the video.
I love that beard. Really enjoy.
I'm joking. There's no video.
I believed you.
I need content.
Her back door. Which city in Wisconsin?
Madison.
Well,
I was
this is
newly single and I went on a tear.
Yeah.
And I was like,
So did she.
yeah. And I learned about ass eating. That was new then. You know,
Damn.
it was hot.
That was new then. That was trending.
Yeah.
That was a ludicrous thing to say.
Hashtag
I learned
eating
about ass eating. That was when it was getting its start.
Exactly.
Ass eating has been around since the early 1900s.
I don't know. I'd never heard of it in the 80s.
You know. Oh, your great grandfather was one of the finest assholes.
Winston Churchill, Brown M&M.
Mark Norman Sr. One of the finest butthole lickers of all.
Where's that Ken Burns? The ass eating history.
The slow zoom out. He always liked to lick a butt.
He's
Soft jazz.
Guy's on a porch with a rocking chair. Back in my day.
In my day.
Oh, shit.
Do you have any pet
Let's
peeves,
go to a
Rachel?
caller.
Do you have any pet peeves, Rachel? 'Cause
Tammy from Des Moines, you have something you want to say to Sam?
Do you?
Sorry.
We do peeves on this podcast. We do our complaints. It's kind of like our kvetching.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any peeves this week?
What
I have
grinds
many
your gears?
First of all, wait, can I look at my phone? Because I just wrote down one of my peeves. I have some complaints about my husband. He's like,
Ooh, all right.
Love it.
babe, if you're watching this, you better watch out. Because he wouldn't watch it. That's the saddest part. He would never have even
Do you
thought
want?
to watch
I don't
it.
want my significant other to watch me on podcast.
You know, speaking
No.
of peeves, my husband will like, I don't care that he's not, like, particularly enthralled with my stand-up, but he'll lay in bed next to me and laugh, like, wildly at something on College Humor. And then I'll be like, do you want to see my special at any point? He'll be like, that's fun. That's how it's done. And every one of my boyfriends has been like this. Like there was a time where I did, like, a commercial, and I was thinking, I'm taping this commercial in L.A., and he'd never been to L.A. before. So I'm thinking, like, what is he thinking now? I had the most narcissistic thought. I'm like, as I'm shooting this, is he gazing over, like, intrigued by my life? And he's like, he walked over to me slowly. You know when you kind of open your body language up to be complimented?
Oh, yeah.
He was like, the pool's only open for another hour. Can I go back to the hotel? And that just, like, sums up how deeply underwhelmed he is. Like, I'll be like, my special was like airing that day, and he's just like, you gotta love this guy. I mean, that's how it's done. And I dated one guy that he loved that movie with The Rock and his niece, and
What's it called again? It was like Hulk Hogan did a version of it, Mr. Nanny, and they kind of remember when Hulk Hogan was like a leading actor?
Oh, yeah. That was a bad time.
I watched all those
it's
shitty
like
movies.
he would be like, he loved when big people and little people hung out together.
Yes,
He'd be like,
yes,
come
that is
on,
fun.
he's so big. He kept repitching it to me like I didn't understand the concept. He's like, he's so big and she's so tiny. I mean, you do the math. I'm like, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah. He's like, but it's great. He's like a big dude. And he's like doing stuff with this little tiny. I'm like, I understand.
Has he seen the movie Twins? We got to show him that.
They
He's
did
gonna love it.
Although I will
sequel to that
say-
shit.
Really?
Junior.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. That was some trans stuff.
Danny
before.
DeVito, though, dude. I mean, that guy fucking.
Oh, he's great.
I watch It's Always Sunny like that's my comfort show on the road. You ever watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
I do like that show.
It's
It's
so-
a really funny show.
There's something about it though. Like I don't need when I date someone, I don't need her to like love my act. I just need that occasional like, oh, that was
Compliment.
funny. I date a comic, so a lot of the times like comics don't laugh at jokes. Like I'll tell you, she's like, oh, what any new stuff? I told her one, she's just like, oh yeah, that's good. And it's like it's weird to just get that.
Yeah,
but that's how I am too. That's how comics react to like
it's
a
true.
bit.
Even when you think it's hilarious, you just think about it. You think about how good it is.
You're
It's
analyzing it.
What makes me laugh out loud is like craziness. It's like
silly shit.
like a silly
true.
like
silly stuff.
something outrageous.
I will say, as I like insult the fact that he loves movies about big men and tiny women, that I love like the dumbest tropes will make me laugh more than anything
Like
in the world.
what?
So, like, I love it when somebody's told to leave someplace and comes back in again. It's
Wait a
always
minute.
funny to me. Like when somebody's like told seriously to leave a party, they're like, "You're out of hand, get out of here." Then they come back in a different outfit. It's always funny to me.
Really?
Somebody's sneaking back in. That's like, you know, like in like in like Trading Places, like in those old comedy movies where they're like told to leave a fancy party and then they come back in a fun-loving hat. Always funny to me. Yeah. I also like it when couples insult each other. Like they're married, but they're like, "You're dumb." That's why.
Oh, you
you're
love that.
Stupid. I like it because you've made the decision to marry somebody, and it's very funny to me that you just turn around and you're like, "'Cause you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Because your brain can't hold a lot. That's why."
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite scenes ever is in Back to School when Rodney's wife is leaving him. He's divorcing her. He just caught her with someone else, and he just hands her. She goes, "I want a divorce," and he goes, "I knew we had something in common." He takes the papers out of his jacket. He goes, "Sign here." She goes, "Oh, you're not getting out of it this easy." And he just takes it. He goes, "Oh, you want to talk about class?" Because she goes, "You got no class." He goes, "You're right. I married you, didn't I?" He goes, "You want to talk about class? Here's you with this guy. Here's you with this guy. Here's you. Here's this guy. But what's with the midget?" It's like Rodney just zinging her.
Yeah.
And she cheats on him, so he is just licensed to say fucking anything.
Right.
Yes.
I love that he's like, "We need a button on this. Midget." That would be a perfect way to end it.
She goes, "You're impossible." He goes, "Oh, yeah? And you're easy."
I actually just heard those specific jokes because my father-in-law, every time I go over to his house, he's like, "You know what you should do? You should do that Rodney Dangerfield." His suggestion is always that I steal Rodney Dangerfield's act. He's like, "That's what you should do." And then he plays it really loud, whenever, like at an alarming level, like just 15. And he's like, "That's what you go on there and you do." He's like, that's comedy. Like, he just wants me to literally steal Rodney Dangerfield's entire act.
Yeah.
And just go on stage and deliver it. It's fascinating. And he goes, "And remember, take pauses. You got to take pauses."
Got here.
Sheath review giveaway, baby. Woo. Sheath Underwear and We Might Be Drunk are working together to give you the comfort of the most comfortable and best looking underwear in the market. It really is both. Am I wearing it right now, too? Oh, no, I'm not. Sorry.
All right. Sam's
But I don't like these. I ran out of underwear because of laundry day, so I'm doing the over the top. I hate the over the top.
Hate the over the top. Good movie, though.
All you need to do is leave us a 5-star rating and write a review on Apple Podcasts. Take a screenshot of the review, submit the screenshot, fill out the form. We will be giving away a number of underwear every episode during the month of November. So write your review and fill out the form so we know what underwear size and where to send the underwear. Visit GothamPodcastStudio.com/WMBD. Fill out the form and let us give you some free underwear.
Yeah.
Big thanks to Sheath Underwear for sponsoring this promo. Don't forget to use promo code DRUNK for 20% off your purchase with Sheath Underwear.
Oh, yeah. We love them. Wearing them right now. What better promo is that? They're cupping my genitals as we speak. All right. We Might Be Drunk is also brought to you by Lucy Nicotine Gum. Everybody tries to quit smoking. It's hard. There's books about it. There's lectures. There's TED Talks. There's hypnotists. All this stuff about quitting smoking. It's the hardest thing you could ever do. But not with Lucy, baby. Lucy was founded by Caltech scientists, former smokers who want to help other people quit. They set out to create a better and cleaner nicotine alternative. It took 3 years of research, but they made Lucy, a nicotine gum that actually tastes good. Comes in wintergreen, cinnamon, pomegranate, and if you don't like gum, they got lozenges, baby. Citrus, mint, or cherry ice. Woo! I like the citrus. Goes down easy. Yeah, I used to chew this just for a little jolt. Each has 4 milligrams of nicotine. When you're craving a smoke, you need a little something to satisfy that habit. Get your fix. Lucy's got you, baby. Subscribe monthly, too, and they'll send it right to your house. Tell them how. Sloppy jalopy.
They're supporting this show, so go. God, well, fucking damn it.
We're not even drinking yet.
They're support. I think we're better with the alcohol.
Maybe. It loosens us up a little bit.
They're supporting the show, so go support them. Get 20% off all products, including gum or lozenges, at lucy.co with code DRUNK. That's 20% off lucy.co and use promo code DRUNK at checkout. And here's the part the lawyers make us say. Warning, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. But what isn't these days? Am I right?
Good point.
No duh. Get 20% off at lucy.co with code DRUNK.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. We Might Be Drunk is also brought to you by Sheath Underwear. You know it. We know it. I'm wearing it right now. Sheath is the best in the business. I just gave myself a Melvin pulling this puppy up. And they feel good. They look good. My lady likes them. She got her own stuff. It's men and women. They cup the genitals. They separate the dick and the balls.
Yeah.
It's needed to happen. These two
great.
needed some space.
Yeah, I'm against segregation, but with dick and balls, let's get them separated.
Shoes in Palestine, baby. Love sheath. They look good. They feel good. Not only supportive, keeps your balls off your legs. 2 pouches, one for the dick, one for the balls. And sheaths isn't just for men. You lady gays out there can get sheath too. Sports bras, bikini briefs, boy shorts. Oh, I love those boy shorts. That's a little ironic. A straight guy likes boy shorts. All right. The idea for sheath came from its founder, U.S. Army soldier Robert Patton during his second tour in Iraq. Support this awesome veteran-owned company whose founder is a big comedy fan. All right, Robert.
Go to sheathunderwear.com and order with promo code DRUNK to get 20% off your first order and Sheath Underwear's 100% money-back guarantee. That's sheathunderwear.com, promo code DRUNK. Get Sheath Underwear and let them support your balls.
Yeah. Ooh, good read at the end there.
It is good underwear.
It really is, and they sent us 1 million pairs. 1minuteblockTime.com. It's full of articles explaining blockchain, Ethereum, and it takes less than 1 minute to read. We all know how crypto is big. Everybody's in it. You feel left out.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing it, and I don't understand it. I'm an idiot. But this guy is going to explain it to you, investing, how complex NFTs work, Bitcoin, you name it. So they're not giving out financial advice, but 1minuteblockTime.com is a great place to start learning about it.
So good.
He says that to me every time he sees me. He's always like, apparently they say you're a comedian. Like, he still doesn't buy the rumors.
Yeah.
That that's what I do for a living.
But that's why we like Rodney, because that's our ultimate fantasy, is to be in a horrible situation like that and always have a zinger.
Yes, you're right.
That's all it is.
He
That's
That's why
was
people
so-
like heckler videos, I
Yeah.
think, because
Yes.
they're living vicariously
Yes.
through you. Like, that's their boss. That's the person.
Right.
There's justice in that moment. It's something about Rodney that's so comforting.
You're
Yeah.
right, because that's also that's what I spend most of my time doing is replaying small social exchanges. Like, some people
Same.
are afraid of death. Like, death, bring it on. I care if people are mad at me. That's all I
The
care.
jerk store
with
called.
you.
They're running out of you.
Yeah.
I worry so much more if I rub someone the wrong way than if I die just like a violent gangrenous death. That's
Same.
so much
I
rather-
think about
At
it
least
so
no one's
much.
mad at you.
So many
Yeah.
flights. I was on a flight the other day that was like, it felt like the engine stopped going. I was like, oh, we're gonna die. It was like one of those
Yeah.
moments. You always look at the flight attendant to see how she's doing.
Yes, me too.
And she was okay, and that was the only thing I was like, oh God, thank God.
Yeah.
But then also part of me is like, well, maybe she's just okay with death.
Right.
Right.
Maybe she's like, if this goes down, shit's been bad. Like, I'm a flight attendant during a pandemic. People are assholes. Bring it on.
I kind of
Yeah.
have no sympathy. I was sitting next to a lady the other night on a flight, and she was like, oh, God. She had like a thick Southern accent. She was like a cute kind of Southern hayseed lady, you know, like, it's my first time flying, you know. I was like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. She's like, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. And when she said a prayer and all that, it was endearing, but you're also like, come on. What are you doing? Shut up. It's a
The
flight.
plane's going down. You're like, shut up, you hick.
Yeah. Yeah, you fucking hillbilly. Eat a pretzel.
Oh man, there is a part of me. I'm on the flight, you know, and they do. Well, someone's got a peanut allergy, so we're not serving peanuts today. And I wasn't even planning on eating peanuts, but there's a party that's like, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him.
Right. That's true.
I could have had peanuts.
I know.
I wasn't planning on it.
You have
Also,
the,
why announce it to us? Just don't give us the fucking peanuts.
Also, I bring nuts on the plane with me. I could just still belt them out.
Oh, good point.
Right.
Here's the other thing. It's
Good
like
point.
I only want the peanuts now that I know I can't have them.
Right. You want what you can't have.
Yeah.
It's true. Before you're like, peanuts, fuck this
Fuck
shit.
peanuts. They're still serving this shit.
Yeah.
The second they say I can't have them, like I can't have a fucking salty snack.
I still hate Biscoff. I know we fight about this.
Biscoff is fucking class.
Stinks. I associate it with being hungover on a 7 a.m. flight out of Denver. So
Well,
I'm
that's
like,
your fault for
"Ah."
taking a 7 a.m. flight.
Well, I want to get home.
Yeah, well,
the
I
time
feel
change.
like I kind of agree with both of you. Like, there's a sadness to a Biscoff cookie
There
and
is.
its packaging, but yet it's still a cookie,
You
so I'll
dip it.
slam it in
you
my
ever
face.
dip it in a coffee?
I do
It's
too,
really
but-
good. It's a good coffee dunk.
I eat it, but I agree there's a low-grade depression to a Biscoff.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's this packaging that's obviously cheap, and the cookie's
Yeah.
cheap, but they try to make it seem snazzy and Biscoff. You know, it almost seems kind
yeah.
of hoity-toity, and it comes in this dumb wrapper, and I'm like, I know, I can see through you, Bisc. You're full of shit. You're a phony cookie.
Yeah, whatever. I
You're
like
not
a
a
bit-
shortbread.
Yeah. The cookie's sad. You know what else? Taking a fucking flight back from Springfield, Missouri. That's sad.
Oh,
so,
God.
so you know what? Embrace the sad. Have a cookie. Treat yourself.
Yeah,
There's
watch-
nothing like a connecting flight.
Oh.
Disgusting.
Ah.
The night after I taped my first half-hour special, I flew to do some like gig in the middle of nowhere. I was wildly lonely, just pulsing with loneliness. I was so aggressively single. And I go do this gig.
Aggressively single.
That was like when I was like hanging out at steakhouses because I heard men hang out at steakhouses.
That
It
they
was
do.
a really dark time for me. I was just like leering at strangers at steakhouses.
I love a steakhouse.
That shows your clientele, though.
I just went
know.
to St. Elmo's in Indianapolis. Holy shit.
Good.
It's
like
like
a
the best.
steakhouse, too.
It's where Nick Offerman always talks about on
Oh,
Parks and
really?
Rec. His character.
Yeah.
That's St. Elmo's Indianapolis Steakhouse. Fuck.
What am
I'm
I
sorry. I
missing?
didn't mean
I
to
don't
cut
love a
off you.
steak.
No, there really wasn't much I was going towards, but I do feel like there's something about a men like grouped together ignoring me that I find
They're in
actively
suits.
arousing. Yes, like just like guys at a work party that has nothing to do with me. I'm just sitting there leering at like just. Yeah, it really fills.
If
me
you're going to
with
be
a
ignored, you want it
pulsing-
to be at least the caliber of guy who's got like a shrimp cocktail and,
Yes.
and a tie on.
Right.
But I don't
swear to
believe
God.
I don't believe that they're ignoring you. I'm sure guys hit on you.
Well,
all
I
the
think
time
it's
with that.
alarming when you're sitting at a bar and kind of leering at strangers. It's like a bit of a red
What are you, throw on a
flag.
cocktail dress and sit at the bar kind of thing?
There was a while where I was like openly telling people this, and one of my friends was like, "That's not okay." What? You're doing that.
I think that's
I was
fine.
like, "Yeah,
I think
man,
it's
they got
fine.
at steakhouses. Like, if you guys want to hang, I'll be at Keen's later." And then she's like, "Too many trying to
Keen's
set
is
you up with
fucking.
somebody."
Keen's is a
No.
cool steakhouse.
You're going to pick up a real old, like a rich guy, like a tycoon over
That's
there.
funny that you say that because I was hit on by a guy that was really close to death, and I was sitting at the bar. My friend was with me. It's good to bring like a wing person. My friend is
He's
like,
like, hello, Sumner Redstone. Nice to meet you. Would you like to control my oxygen tank for the next few hours?
It's like, wait a minute, Rachel, the sculptor?
and he had the best line too. It was like the line I'd been waiting for my whole
Ooh,
life.
I can't
And, like,
wait. Let's
it
hear
was
it.
so dumb, but it was so funny. There was like this big painting up above the bar in Keen's Steakhouse, and it's like a big, like soft stick looking, like kind of rolling woman. And he was like, "Is that you? Are you?" Like, it just made me laugh. You know, he's like, "I'm sorry to say, but it's are you?" And then I turn around, like, whoever this is, like, he's gonna be inside of me this evening. And he was like osteoporosis old, just like
I love
he
your
was like-
liver spots.
Yes. No, he was, like in his high 80s.
So how was the sex?
It was good. He really punished me in this way that I didn't realize I needed to be punished.
Right. He had his nurse do it.
There was something about a steakhouse that found like any place that knows how to make a cocktail sounds like a fun place. It sounds like a naughty place.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. It's oozing with sexual vibes.
And we were
in there.
drunk, and the threesome I had with him and his home attendant, let's just what's
The
happening
Jamaican hospice lady. She's got those Tweety Bird scrubs.
There's not enough hospice porn.
Ah, bumba clots.
There's not enough.
We're getting in
I
trouble
would say
for that
this
one.
further.
I missed it. Shit.
Oh, nothing.
Oh, there needs to be more hospice porn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woo.
Because all the porn ends the same way. This will end it a little differently, right? You pull a
Yes.
plug.
Nothing. Pull out. Nothing turns me on like a bedpan.
I had, speaking of porn, I had a porn on my phone one time, and I was at a nail salon on the Upper East Side. I was like nannying, and I got off, and I go to the nail salon, packed Upper East Side nail salon. The porn somehow opens on my phone and starts blasting like wildly, aggressively. It was like, "I am fake, yeah, fuck me pussy, fuck me pussy," and I was like, "Ah, God." My hands were in the dryer. I was like, "Ah!"
Oh my God! Hands in the dryer.
Everyone heard it. Everybody was just like so disturbed.
Wow.
Yes.
That
And I
happened
was
to me
like,
on a flight once, but
Really?
I was able to X out like right when it started. There was like kids on the plane.
I know.
Ooh. But I'm like, you know what? I've listened to your fucking crime. Maybe you have to listen to my shit for once.
Yeah, good point.
you had that, so it opened up and played like that.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, because you just open the window, it goes right where it left off. And it
I
was
know.
a long time ago, but it was like, oh, this is embarrassing.
You gotta
I
up
know.
those windows, when you're done.
I know. I'm gonna learn some stuff from you. I need to learn from you.
Yeah.
I need to talk to somebody that's been lying for the last 20 years. Get some
Might be
good,
hard for you with
tips.
the wet fingers, though.
Whatever Norman's done will keep me safe for a long time.
You got it.
Mark, we do a Patreon. Mark and I will walk you through it. And,
Yes. So what's your go-to? Because I know the ladies don't love the porn. Like, my gal is a fucking animal in the sack. She's filthy. She does things I've never seen before. But you put a porn on and she's like, it's horrible. I'm like,
She doesn't
really?
want to watch with you, you mean?
Just doesn't like it.
At all. She never watches even alone.
Hates it. When she rubs one out, she doesn't use it. She's not a fan.
Damn.
Do you like it?
Is there a type? Yeah. What's your go-to?
Besides
I mean, I
hospice?
don't watch that much. And when I do, I'm sure it's like the beginning of the trail of filth that you guys have gone through,
Sure.
especially
True.
Mark. I
We
should
like
make
the
Mark.
end.
It gets worse.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we're
like
the beginning.
I just watched like a
whatever
moment.
I'm watching, I cut to 14 minutes in.
Same. A lot of scrolling.
It's like Saving Private Ryan. The first 25 minutes, I don't want to see.
Right.
I want to see the
Yes.
real shit.
Yeah, it's like M. Night Shyamalan. The ending is the only...
Let's see the twist.
Yes. It's a man. Fuck. He's
are
been dead
very
the whole
funny.
time.
One of my
The porn,
first,
you're just watching the crying game.
Sorry.
one of the first porns I ever saw was called. It was something called. I think it was The Whore and Her Blind Sister. But if not, and it was
Sister.
hilarious. It was like this.
What
like
is it?
this woman.
Pull
who
it up.
Has I don't know if that's the actual name, but that's what happens in the porn. And
Oh, okay.
basically,
Blindfolded sister doesn't realize that it's her brother's
oh,
cock.
what fun!
that's
See
awesome.
what fun.
This is great.
No, it's basically
Blind-
she,
Is there a script for that? Is there like a porno guy being like, I need a twist?
Right.
yeah. Basically, they have some sort of just filthy, unacceptable, exhausting sex. Him and the first girl. And then she's like, listen, I got to head to work. Doesn't even rinse herself. Just like puts her hair up in a bun to go teach at the local elementary school.
Damn.
And then she's like, listen, if you happen to catch my sister, just so you know, she might need some help around the house. She's really fun.
This is how much porn there is. It's that like you put in a movie plot, the movie comes up. You put in a porn synopsis, you're getting like 80, and you're like, it's not that one.
Yeah, we got like
You're
10
right.
blind
That's so funny
porns
and
cooking
true.
when you pulled that up. I'd like to know what happens with the seeing eye dog. What's going on there? Is that helping? That's tuning
Oh
in?
my goodness. Oh my stars.
I mean, shit, that's like, what is that there? The Horn of
it's
Blind.
here.
Is that just Larry David?
Oh, it looks like a Larry
Or is
David,
that
Andy
Bernie
Warhol
Sanders?
kind
Oh,
of
it's
thing.
Larry David, yeah.
Nah, I'd put that on my wall.
I feel like this is dangerous Google.
Yeah, you got that right. All right.
There was that CNI Dog episode. That must be what it is.
Oh,
Yes.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. You sent me years ago, you were telling me about how you like couples that ball bust. And you told me about, what's his name? Oh, God. Jeez, why am I blanking on this guy's name? The guy, Cool Hand Luke.
Oh,
Paul Newman.
Paul
Oh,
Newman. I
yes.
love Paul Newman.
And the wife.
Joanne Woodward.
Joanne Woodward.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They're so fun together.
If you look up old interviews of them, they're so hilarious with each other, and
Yeah.
just the way he laughs at her. Like there's
She
this
would ball
famous
bust him a lot.
ball bust him a lot, and you could tell he just loved it. And there was this famous quote about Paul Newman.
Yes.
He said somebody asked him about like why him and Joanne Woodward's marriage lasted so many years, because he was married to her for I don't know what it was, like 20, 30, like their whole most of their lives. And he said, why go out for hamburgers when
burger,
you have
yeah.
steak at home? And it was like this famous quote, and they asked her about it. She's like, it was disgusting. It was awful. She was like, I told him to stop comparing me to meats. But they were like, oh, there's an infamous, impressive quote. She's like, yeah, it's not okay.
Wow.
And he was laughing so hard because this quote that everybody had been like, if only my husband would say that about me.
Right,
She was
right.
like, oh,
Rachel
it stinks.
adapted that
Yeah,
to
that's
why
right.
stay home for burgers when you go to a steakhouse. Look at the guy.
It's just cool that he's the hottest guy in the world. He's the
In the
coolest guy.
fucking
And
world,
she's like
ever.
He
zinging
was
him
a
all
hot
day
man.
long.
And
He
he
was
loved
so hot
it, and
when he
you
was
could
old.
tell
Oh, yeah.
that he loved it. And
Yeah.
then
Because no one did it, probably.
because nobody did it. Yeah, and they both told the story of how they met. And he was like, I came in, I had this like seersucker suit, and I was meeting up with my agent, and she walked in, and she was like, oh, his suit was so ridiculous, and he's laughing so hard, like she's like, he came in this absurd outfit, and you could tell he just loves it. He loves that she just gives him like wild amounts of shit.
Yeah. That's underrated flirting, is a little bit of.
Yeah, just the
Playful.
right amount.
Just the
People
right
can
amount.
overdo
It
it with
takes skill.
comics, but it does. Yeah, but there's like a level of. I will say that's the fun thing about like, and I have many a complaint about my husband, but being married to a firefighter, because like I give him so much shit, and he truly loves it.
He is
Yeah.
really cool
Yeah.
about that. I've
He
seen
He
you
likes
guys-
it. He
I've
doesn't
seen you
kiss.
guys do
Firemen
it,
don't
yeah.
give a shit about that kind of stuff. Like,
No.
Like we'll have sex, and afterwards I'll be like, "You really stunk it up that time." Like. That was unacceptable. It'll laugh so hard. I'll be like, I did, right? Like, I gave way too. And he just likes it. Like, he doesn't care at all.
Yeah.
He is awesome about it. I've seen you shit on him, and he takes it, and it's like, it's playful. I mean, there's a skill to ball busting the right way, and that's why like you appreciate it. You're like, oh, they put thought into this.
Yeah.
Yes. And firefighters are a lot like comedians in the way that, like, you walk up to the comedy table at the cellar, like a normal person, a civilian, as we would call them, walks up and we're just like rolling their eyes like, oh, some guy brought his girlfriend over and we have to speak with her, or some female comic brought her boyfriend over and now we have to engage.
My issue is when they don't want to hang out with her, so they bring her over and then they go to the bathroom. And
Yes.
now I'm babysitting the date they don't want to be on.
Right.
I'm like, so where are you from? Okay.
Yeah.
I can see why you left.
I just realized how many times that's happened to me.
Yeah,
Oh my God!
brutal.
I'm like, God, they do that.
I'm
a
literally
lot.
catching up with friends I haven't seen with weeks, and some comic will drag over a date that they don't want to be.
Oh
on.
yeah, and you're like, so have you seen The Blind Whore? Like, you don't know what to say. Yeah,
The part with the dog is fascinating, but the rest wasn't for me.
right.
I feel like Sherrod did that when I was roommates with Sherrod, because he would invite girls over and
And it
actually,
was a railroad, right? You lived in a railroad.
yes, we lived at a
apartment.
railroad apartment. And I feel
What's
like he
that?
would
I feel like
use
this is a
me.
New York thing. I feel like if you're not from New York, you don't know
Long
this.
shotgun.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like to go to who lived in the back and who lived in the front.
Oh,
He
I know
lived
what
in
you
the
mean.
back, then the kitchen was in between, and then the bathroom was through my room. So you had to walk through my room to get to the
So
bathroom.
to use the bathroom in the
It was
middle
like an
of the night,
old
you
law tenement. We lived in active squalor. We'd been doing stand up for like, a year.
Wow.
And he would get just like wild amounts of ass. And he would bring these women over and he would try to use me as part of the oiling process to get them to trust him. I would try to look at them like through eye contact and be like, you're making a terrible mistake. This is a violently bad idea. But he would like make me have this quick small talk with them so that he could be like, look, female roommate, why not have me inside of you? I'm like, no, you're making a terrible mistake.
You're the ultimate
But
wing woman, though.
Yeah.
I feel like, remember when we tried to do that? Because me and Sam were both single, and I was like, and you can wing me, and I'll wing you. And Sam went out with me, and it was just really alarming. When I came with you, it worked like a charm. But then when you came with me, and I'm like, and you talk to guys, and then I'll talk to them. Because I'm like too shy to actively speak
Some
to
guy
a
talks to
stranger.
Rachel. I'm just hammered like.
You like her?
It was a disaster. You'd be like, yeah, so the Knicks. And they were just like, what are you guys trying to do to me? And the guys would run.
threesome? You swinging?
They weren't okay
We used
with
to go to
it.
that bar Swift all the time and order that. It's funny. We'd like go out to like meet people, and then we would just like sit at the bar and eat artichoke pizza and get drunk.
Yeah.
Just always backfire.
It shows how hard it was, like before apps and internet. Like you had to really be vulnerable and put yourself out there, get drunk, and sit at a bar.
Oh my God! Back in the day, you would like walk up like, "Hey."
Yeah,
I guess people still do that, but it's different.
it's
now.
different. Yeah, especially with
Yeah.
younger people, I imagine. It's a
Yeah.
new world.
Oh, they won't know. Young people won't know what it's like to have to approach someone.
It's
I guess maybe
tough.
when they're in like 6th grade, you probably have to learn it. But like when you're an adult, you don't, or a teenager even. Like, I mean, I guess there's no Tinder for like 13-year-olds, but there might be.
Yeah.
I will say those are the two moments that I don't like envy being a man at all. Is
Really?
moments where I see when men have to hit on somebody, I'm like, oh my God, that's enough for me to want out, And
It's
the
tough.
moment where like a man meets another man for the first time that he doesn't know at all, there's this weird like
Oh,
aggression.
yeah.
And I'm like, I want no part of that. And they'll be
That's
like, how's it
true.
going, buddy? And they give like a free hit in the back, like, things good? Everything's okay? Like, I'm like, not all of that would happen.
Right.
I'll happily take all kinds of wild, unacceptable nonsense. Just not have to be a man meeting another man for the first time.
That is weird. But the lady meetings can be weird too. Like the two pretty girls meeting.
Yes.
There's some real like, I like it. Thanks.
Yeah, you're right.
I love your dress.
Yeah, and you're like, oh boy.
Yes,
They hate each other.
That's true. That is a loaded moment as well. But there's something about when guys meet that it's frightening.
Yeah, it's like planet Earth, like monkey
like
shit.
danger.
You
You're
feel like
suddenly
some
on
of them
the
want to be
table.
like, so how much you bench? And you're like, oh, fuck.
Yes,
God.
exactly.
It's always like sizing each other up.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you,
Yeah.
6'1", 6'2"? Yeah.
That is a moment.
That's why it's nice to be tall, because you guys are just like, oh, yeah, I'm taller than you. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
like, yeah. 6'1". How much do you pull in financially every year? What are you
Yeah.
pulling? Yeah. Where do you live? It's just like you're just like, oh Jesus.
I know.
No.
That happens a lot. You're right. The
Men
man
are
on
men
man.
are fucking. There is an energy,
It's
especially at the
primal.
bar. Once it's mostly younger men. It's mostly
Yeah.
like,
Really?
I think so.
Or Long Island.
What do you mean?
I think it's like when you're young, there's that insecurity,
Mm-hmm.
but also Long Island energy, like the Long Island meathead.
Terrifying. I mean, I have a bit about like when firefighters meet each other. Like there's
Oh, yeah.
there's something about that New York like type of like
Well, they're
things are good,
tough.
everything's okay, things are good, beautiful. Tell you what, at the end of the day, it's about family. They always sound,
it's about family.
I always say how they always sound like they're about to admit something they can't hold any longer. Beautiful. Little kid goes by fast. All right, goes by real fast. I killed my first wife, Diane. You know, like there's always.
Firefighters fucking drink.
I ran over a kid. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no, they can drink. I mean, those are like dudes.
Oh yes, at my wedding there was just like.
Oh, that was
my
hilarious.
God. I mean, wildly drunk firefighters. Like,
I was like, comics drink. And then I said the firemen. I'm like, firemen. Because a lot of comics are sober.
Yeah.
Yes, and a lot of firemen need to be. Yeah, no, it's a whole other thing because they're. I mean, they're like.
I wonder if they've been drunk and the bell rings. Like, has that ever
No,
happened?
they can't be drunk at work anymore, but they like to tell fond stories. Yeah, they do. They tell fond stories about like back in the 70s when we were absolutely loaded.
I called a fire truck 40 minutes ago. They're like, yeah, we wrapped it around a pole. We'll be.
Yeah, we're at Wendy's. We're at the drive-thru.
You want anything? We'll bring it to you.
So one of Pete's firefighter buddies called me like hammered once, and meanwhile Pete is his captain, right? So he's his boss. And
so cool to say I'm a captain.
I know.
So manly.
I put his hat on right after sex all the time.
Really?
Like a salute, please. Respect the rank. Show a little
That's
fucking
pretty hot.
respect.
Naked girl with a fireman hat on. That's pretty great.
But I actually put his whole uniform on once, but he's so anal, like neat, that I was like, oh, I'll put a uniform on and do like some sort of whore jig. The fact that I called it whore jig, I'm aware is not arousing. But I came in, he's like, no, do the other one. Do the other one, because that's the one I need to wear tomorrow. I'm like, you've ruined it. It's not going to work anymore.
Yeah, don't make me break out the iron just to fuck you here. Come on.
Right.
That's great.
But when he was promoted to captain, they did like a special ceremony. Like, there's like a captain ceremony. You guys... there's so much fucking material in these places. So we go to this big auditorium, and each firehouse that knows their guy's about to be promoted, they have a big sign like Peter Brennan, like 118, ladder 118. And then Pete was like, listen, when you arrive at the stadium or whatever where he's being promoted, there's a guy with a bullhorn. It's like, guys upstairs, you know who yous are. Shut up, all right? Show some respect, okay? I mean, it's an incredible scene. And so when I get there, he's like, listen, when you arrive at the place, because Pete was sitting down, like, at the front, he's like, a couple of my guys are going to, like, walk you up. I gave him your number, and they all their names are, like, he has them in his phone. It's like Jew Steve or something.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to meet
Jew Steve.
White Dan and Jew Steve in the lobby, and they'll walk you up or whatever. And then he was like, and, like, drunk Ted or something. I'm trying to change the name.
Holocaust denying Steve.
And
9/11 was an inside job.
So I meet
Bobby.
The guy.
That's a long name.
So I meet the guy in the lobby, and I'm like, already it's like it is like the beginning of a porn. Like, my friend will take care of you, or maybe just a porn in my own mind. But so he's like, the guys will watch you, like they'll take care of you during the ceremony, and then I'll meet you after. So then I meet these guys, and we chat. We're hanging out. They're really fun, animals like myself. We had a great time. Then afterwards, we go to this bar. We have a few drinks, and then we go home. And then it like. We hadn't like been living together I don't even think we'd had sex yet. So I go back to my apartment, and then at 4 a.m, there was like 7 missed calls from the guy that was supposed to meet me in the lobby of the promotion ceremony.
Oh.
Or the guy that I did meet there. And I listened to the messages, and he's like, listen. It was incredible.
The first one is like, I'm just here to pick you up. Message 7, you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
You fucking lied to me.
If your house ever catches on fire, we're not coming.
They did get more and more problematic. You're absolutely right. The first one is like, listen, I respect Pete. I respect that he's going to be a cap and all that fucking shit, whatever. And he's like, but I'm going fucking rescue. I'm going blue. That's what they call like the special ops firefighters. They say going rescue. Those are the guys that have like cranes and go into like the river and shit.
It's pretty amazing.
He's like, he's going to be a cap, whatever. I'm going to be fucking blue. I would love to have little blue babies with you.
Damn. Wow.
And then he's like, fuck it.
It's so fucking brave, man. It really is like, it's insane.
It is insane.
It's crazy.
They get a pass for drinking that much because of how brave it is. Like,
no, that's why they drink, because all this shit they see. They see
so
some
much.
serious stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And they go into fires, and they love going to fires. And if he doesn't go to a fire, he gets upset that he missed it. I mean,
Really?
They hate missing fires,
Yeah.
and they complain about the guys that got their job.
Whoa.
They'll be like, fucking 240. They catch all the good fucking fights. And a fucking beautiful fight in a high rise. Should have been us.
Damn.
It must be a rush. I mean, as dangerous as it is.
It's very similar besides the hero part because we're narcissists, but there's a lot of weird similarities with comics. Like they're adrenaline junkies and they love their jobs. I think that's the reason that like
I've seen their bodies. It's not that similar. They've got biceps and they can lift weights.
Yeah. That's true.
I mean, we're complete. Yeah,
But they have a lot, just like us, they have a lot of downtime. They're eating chili.
Yes.
They're playing foosball.
I love the chili part looks fun.
I love it.
The downtime of any job looks fun. Like I look at the mob. I'm like, well, you're just at like a fucking cookout. That looks great.
I know.
But then they got to murder people and, intimidate.
Sure.
The part of the fire department where it just looked fun. It just
I know.
You're just making I love making chili. That's
They
my
all
favorite
cook.
thing to make.
Yeah,
they
playing.
all cook. Firefighters all cook. And that's when you walk into the firehouse, you feel that same feeling as somebody must feel when they walk up to the Comedy Cellar table. It's just like the chemicals change in the room. Like you change the chemicals because you're coming. But I do feel like they like comedians, firefighters.
Yeah, for sure.
So then once they know I'm a comic, they don't see me as quite as the same as they get a kick out of stand-ups. But
they came to a lot of our shows when we were doing those Wilson
They always
shows,
come out to
and
my shows now.
So one week you weren't there. There were some firemen there, and they were so cool. And they were we were chatting afterwards. They were just cracking me up. One of them was just like, "Yeah, I got fucking COVID." He goes, "I was fucking sick as shit for 2 weeks. It was fucking horrible." And he was just cracking. He was just making me laugh. Just there's something about some of their energies that's like, so when you see shit like that, you give no fucks.
Yes.
And that's something, it's refreshing. I think that's why I like firemen.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit. And for very different reasons than we don't give a shit.
Right.
They're active
Sure.
heroes, but they don't.
They're brave,
They don't
yeah.
give a fuck. Like they don't care about anything.
We don't give a fuck because we're tired and we're phoning it in half the time.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck because they know they could die.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they see great. It's like nurses. You ever have nurses in the audience? They're always great crowds because they've
Yes.
seen
They've
people
seen
shitting
so much
themselves
shit.
and blood splatters and all that shit.
And
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
a full release for them.
Yes.
Like they need
They
to laugh.
need
Some
it.
people want to laugh. Some people need to
Right,
laugh. Like
right.
they need to laugh.
So
yeah.
Totally. I did a gig. Me and like 5 open micers did a gig in deep Pennsylvania early on in comedy, and we all bombed. They were super nice, but we just sucked at comedy. The only laugh that I got was we did the show in front of all their uniforms and everything were hanging up with their names, like Gonzalez, Johnson, whatever, with the helmet and everything. And I was like, "Oh, I'm bombing." I go, "Oh, Johnson, we all know he's gay." And they went, "Ah!" That was the only laugh I got. They're all shaking Johnson like, "He is gay." Oh man! And then I bombed for another 20 minutes. But
It is amazing people who have been through shit. Like I remember it was me and Scott Chaplin years ago. I love Scott. We did a gig.
Funny
He's a
guy.
fun
We did a
hang.
gig. Oh, he's the best. He's so funny. And we did a gig in Warwick, Delaware, whatever it is, Rhode Island, wherever the fuck it was. It was one of those places. Probably Rhode Island, and it was in a movie theater. It was horrible. It was like a Comedy Zone back then in a movie theater. So Scott's like, "Is it okay if I don't want to watch your set? Grown Ups 2 is playing next door." And I'm like, "All right, go ahead, knock yourself out." So we go up, and it's like, all the crowds kind of sucked there, and then we did one show, and they're like, it's bought out by a breast cancer benefit, and I have to tell you, it was all women who had breast cancer, and they were the best crowd I've ever had.
Wow.
They just laughed
believe
at
it.
fucking everything. They were so cool.
Yeah.
And there's something about that shit when, like, Rachel's right, when you need it, it is...
Well, the people who get upset about comedy tend to be the most privileged, kind of highfalutin people who can sit there and analyze it and go,
They have a
"This
lot of
bothered
time on
me."
their hands,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
They're
way
very
you said
protected. You're right.
Yes.
And there's like an elitism to what people get offended by. There's
Totally.
an absolute elitism because it's a privilege to be offended. There's like
That's a good point.
there's a lot less room for those kinds of emotions in some people's lives.
Right.
Like I was asking my brother because he's a therapist at like an inner city school in DC, and they have it just dealt with insane amounts of adversity and poverty, and a lot of the kids are just like immigrants who've dealt with insane levels of unacceptable violence and
Wow.
and I'm like, what do you deal with? Like, how do you deal with all the kids getting triggered by language and like this new culture? He's like, this doesn't happen.
Yeah, we
They're dealing
use
with like active
triggered for
emergencies.
guns.
He's like, I don't
Exactly.
hear that
Yeah.
word. I hear that word very rarely.
They
Because
got
they're
real
dealing with like
problems.
active violence and real emergencies and the immediacy of poverty and other things like that. Yeah.
Totally. Completely agree.
I can't believe I'm drunk and I made that point somehow.
That was good. You fucking stuck the landing on that. Is that one good? I want to try it.
Oh, dude.
Can I try a
taste
sip
that.
of it?
Taste that. Yeah.
I
it's
love
great.
a cucumber in a drink. It's such a fine idea. I
It's
love
nice.
a
Refreshing.
cucumber.
Dude, you're killing this.
What is that called?
That's the Cucumber Rush.
Ooh.
Holy shit.
And what a voice,
dude.
too, huh?
I know. This guy's a
Great
hunk.
voice.
Dude, this is so good. I shouldn't just because I'm on the thing, but I you know, a small one.
All right.
Give me
that's
a
what I
hint.
said.
Give me a taste, all right? Good cocktail. Really seems to kid.
But the funny thing is, when that guy left me that long series of voicemail messages, was like, you and me, little blue babies. Then he calls back, he's like, fuck Pete.
Wow.
I bet he's got a baby penis. He's like, we're gonna have 2 babies together.
It's so funny that they'll literally go into fires together, but then they're like, yeah, I'll try to fuck your wife. I don't give a shit.
The most fascinating thing, I play the whole thing for Pete. I'm like, well, your buddy, because he's so not jealous. So I was like, he'll barely care about this. I play the entire thing. He's just dying laughing. And later
that'd be
on,
great.
'Cause it's
couldn't
funny.
give a shit. Later on, I'm
Yeah.
like, did you ever even like mention that to him? Like, if somebody did that to my boyfriend, I might like at least give him shit about it.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I never did, you know? Like,
I totally get that.
but I do feel like I always ask him, I'm always like, how long would I have to go missing before you would look for me? Because I feel like it would be like,
No.
I don't think he would look for me immediately. He's always emptying the dishwasher. I'm like, you would empty the dishwasher before you would look for me, right? He's like, I might. But also I do feel like that is partly related to the first responder thing. Like, it's like, whatever.
Oh,
Like, he
right.
knows his friend's drunk, whatever. Like, when you deal with active emergencies
Yes.
to that extent, he's just
Interesting.
like, nah, you know what I mean? Like, and I love to give him shit about that, but the other side of it is like, he's just not jealous. He's the only
Yeah.
guy that's like fully accepted my career.
You don't have room for that shit when you're
He
dealing
doesn't.
with
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why we don't get offended about stuff either, because we're like, oh, what? Oh, I didn't think I mattered. Like, it's weird when somebody's like,
Yes.
that bothered me. I'm like, well, stuff bothers me all the time, but I just move on.
Oh, we're into
Yeah.
like when it comes to comedy, we're like into the BDSM of like,
Totally.
we're into the dark end.
Yeah.
That's our humor because we went through open mics and we
Yes.
Right,
so
right.
we find dark shit funny. So that when they like find like, can you believe a comedian made this joke or laughed at this? And it's like, fucking yeah.
Right.
We're the people that would make that fucked up joke.
Of course.
Of course,
Like, people, you
yes.
got my gender wrong. And I'm like, oh, sorry. But if you got my gender wrong, I'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm a guy. Like, I wouldn't think twice about it.
Yeah.
You know, if I was on the phone, they're like, is this a woman? I'd be like, yeah, whatever. You know, that wouldn't bother me. But it's a thing now.
Yeah. Everything's good. Everything's good. Everything's fine, man. Shit. I mean, no, it's like, I really feel that way. We talked about it last week, but like, you hear about how fucking divided we are, and then you just go outside. You're
Yes.
like, it looks all right to me.
Sun is
Well,
shining.
I will say this: people are always like every time I got into an Uber the other day, and the driver was like, "What do you think about this? People getting offended by everything, huh? What do you think about that?" As a like, he asked me what I did for a living, and I made the mistake of telling him I was a comic, and he's like, that's ridiculous, huh? And I'm like, yeah, no, it is. And then he's like, and then they put, you know what they put in this vaccine? I'm like, how did I co-sign to this?
That's the problem. It
Like,
always
I'll tell you
goes
what
there.
they got in there. He's like, I'll tell you what they got a chip to
you.
control your brain. I'm like, wow, that is that's the door to that next statement. Like, he
That's
was
the
just
problem.
sure that I was going to co-sign.
What if something
with the
just
next
activated
thing.
my brain? I was like, kill Uber driver, kill Uber.
Right.
But I do feel like if you actually go out to crowds and when you're on the road, it hasn't changed that much.
No,
People
life
don't
is
give a
pretty
shit.
good at
Yeah.
it. And you talk to people, and you're like, most people are fucking cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a blogger that's gonna misunderstand something I've said, sure, but I feel like when you actually go out, there's just people that need
They're
a
working
laugh.
too
Yeah.
hard for this shit.
I
It's like
know.
what you guys were saying about privilege. I do think that people who are working super hard, when you go on the road, they don't have time to give a shit. They kind of roll their eyes at it, and yeah, everything's fine.
People have kids. They have jobs. They commute. They,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah, exactly. Kids, like, you have 3 kids, you think you're fucking tweeting about a comedy special being offensive?
Yeah.
You're wiping shit.
Exactly.
Yes.
Oh, your mom is sick. There's always something going on. You know, you got a mortgage.
Yeah.
I feel like most people that have like multiple kids are like they're already active alcoholics. I feel like a lot of my friends that have a lot of kids. That's how you have that many kids. You just start
Yeah.
drinking heavily.
I
My
would think-
parents were.
I would think of Tom Papa's bit, how he used to drink at like bars, now he drinks over the sink because of his kids.
Oh, that's
Over the
great.
sink, that's hysterical.
It's so
Sink
funny.
is funny.
What does he say? That's so
He's
funny.
one of my favorite jokes. He's like, man, Tom Poppy got 3 kids. You got a wife at home. Man, oh man. And, what's the hardest part about doing the road? He's like, well, the hardest part is not whistling while I pack.
I love that bit.
I mean, that is pitch perfect comedy.
Yeah, he's a great comic.
I'm shiny again.
Oh, no, you're not.
I'm
We're all
drunk,
doing
you
great.
guys.
You're drunk? That's the point of the pod. We come on, we have a
Man.
few cocktails, we live a little.
Powdering.
Cheap date, huh?
I'll tell you.
How do you hang with Pete? I mean, you just sit and watch him down 12 Bud Lights?
He doesn't drink. A lot of firefighters don't drink. Yeah. Because
That's
they
new.
can't. Like, it's just like a lot they see on the job. So, but
I've only seen him drinking.
no, he stopped drinking a while ago, and he'd be more likely
Whoa.
to smoke pot or something.
Oh,
like
that's
that
the
now.
move now.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to pot.
I'm not
Yeah.
a big pot guy.
I'm not either.
Me neither.
You
It
freak out.
accentuates every quality I've been trying to erase.
We're
Exactly.
very similar, the
Yes.
three of
That's
us.
exactly what it does to me.
I think
not
that's part of
into
the
it.
reason we're all
Yeah.
kind of close is because
Yes.
we all are like hang at the bar, drink people, and we have been since I've known both of you.
Right. Yeah, booze settles the mean shit. Weed brings it up for me.
Me too. I start to think people don't like me and they want
Yeah.
me to leave. And
Alcohol, I don't care if they don't like me. I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck you.
Exactly. It softens the
Stuck up
voices.
piece of shit.
Yeah, I feel like especially I feel like neurotic Jews, and I feel like you are one at heart, like with us. Like
You really
yes.
are.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean I feel like those are the qualities we've been trying to iron out. Yeah, that's what drinking does for us. Weed
Yeah.
brings more of them up. I don't need that.
Yeah.
No, there's a real supply and demand issue with those emotions that weed brings out in me.
But it must be a personality thing, because some people are just like, I smoke weed, I feel great. I smoke weed when I wake up, it helps my day. I'm like, oh my God. If you
No.
made me smoke weed in the morning, I would just
People
go
who
in
are
the
like, it's
shower.
like therapy to me. I'm like, oh, does it bring up your mother? Like, what the fuck? Like, what is weed doing for you?
I
How is
know.
it for me, therapy is therapy. It's not fucking
No.
like this. Like, I would never say alcohol is therapy.
Yeah, good point. I mean,
know?
it's a quick fix. You
I
know, if you're
know.
going through
It's
something.
a great short-term solution.
That's the word.
I
Short-term.
overthink everything, and so weed's got me overly dissecting. I'm like, I need less dissecting in my
Same.
life.
Yeah.
I need to slice up miniature moments much less. But when I smoke weed, I'm just like in the corner, just kind of quaking, wondering
Same.
if my roommate wants me to move out or not.
And your roommate's your husband.
I know. He's my husband.
Yeah, no, it's. I know you guys mean. I start to think all the bad.
Yeah.
The
same.
bad takes over, and
And then
that's-
there's always that one guy who goes, you got to get the right strain. I'll tell
Yeah.
you the strain again. You're like, I've tried them all. They all suck.
this one.
I don't believe in the strain stuff.
I don't
They all
either.
make me actively paranoid. They're
Same.
like, this one relaxes you. I'm like, well, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
You got to try this new weed strain. Maybe it's you. That's a really good one.
Yeah, my mind is not that. It really makes me realize I don't have like a stealthy mind. Like my mind is it's very fragile. As soon as I just have a little bit of weed, just a whisper, and I'm not okay.
Because I don't have a waspy mom. I have a Jew mom. So my mom is never like hiding shit. My mom is always like, my mom will never just like let shit go. She'll just say, Sam, we're not mad. We're just disappointed. I'm like, fuck.
Like, what does she get disappointed by?
Oh, when I was a kid, I was just always drunk, and she was just always like, very disappointed in you. I threw up at my sister's graduation.
How
I was
old
like
were you?
7th grade.
Ooh.
I vomited everywhere, and I vomited
That's
so
such
hard
a funny
that
thing
the
to say to a
blood
kid
vessels.
post vomit.
I know.
Disappointed is not the right.
The blood vessels popped in my face.
Whoa. You got the red eye?
Not just that, just spots all over my face. 'Cause I would
Wow.
vomit so hard.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Well, that's scary for a mom to see.
Yeah.
Just
Wow.
He's like, I'm disappointed you can't hold your booze.
She's like, you're a
Disappointed is
pussy.
such a funny word for that.
She's like, you fucking pussy.
Damn.
Do you have any Rex, Rachel?
Ooh, yeah. What are you watching? What are you loving? What are you liking?
I love murder.
Yes.
I like to watch. I don't know what that says about me, but
Every
I can't
lady
go
does.
to sleep until I've seen like The Wives with Knives.
Have you heard Norman's bit about true
Forensic-
crime?
No.
Oh, yeah. It's an old bit about how I got caught watching gay porn for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And she called me out. And I was like, well, you watch murder. And she's like, well, you're just doing that to... She's like, I just watch that so I know what to do if I ever get in that situation. I'm like, well, that's why I'm watching gay porn. That was a joke.
That's hilarious.
Thanks.
Why were you watching gay porn?
I made it up. I wasn't. I needed a parallel for the
That
bit.
is a fascinating premise to make up. Like that is like that.
Well,
is-
I have watched
that
gay
is such
porn.
a window into Norman's mind. Oh, you have.
I have. Yeah, just to like, let me try it. Let me be
Sure.
100% sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I've blown a guy. I'm joking. But, yeah, I watched it just like, Larry, let me see. And it was way too aggressive, way too much dick and, Wasn't for me.
That's a great critique of gay porn. There's too much dick.
Yes, too much dick. It didn't
It's like
look
going to a
right.
Thai restaurant being like, what's with all the noodles?
I hate noodles. I like my noodle. But that's it. I like my restaurant.
So what murder are you watching?
I loved Mindhunter. I love Happy Valley. That's an
Mindhunter's good.
incredible show.
Amazing.
Amazing. And I read the book. It's one of the best books I've ever read in my life.
I started it. I got it. They didn't.
I'm
I think
so
they couldn't
upset.
agree
I
on
think it has something to do with contracts or something because they were supposed to come back. It's one of the best books I've ever read in my life. Mindhunter
started it 'cause of
is
you,
an
and I gotta go back to
incredible
it.
fucking book.
I watched it because of you too.
It's so good. And I was actually
The guy's a badass. He was like solving crimes in his sleep. I mean,
I
was like,
find it
wow.
all fascinating.
He never slept, and when he slept, he'd be like, "Let me try to solve it in my sleep." Right?
Whoa.
Yes, because he had so many cases. He was one of the guys that like coined the term serial killer, and he had
Wow.
solved so many serial killer type homicides. And that was a mess of a sentence, but like I said, a pretty lit. But he was brilliant. And one of the chapters of the book, he explains how he could look at just crime scene photos and write up what's called a character profile. And he would be able to profile the perpetrator just by seeing the photos. He would say, don't tell me anything else about the case. I just need to see the photos. I don't want anything else in my mind. I just want to see the crime scene photos. And then he would see the photos. And one of the cases he said, the killer has a lisp. And he fucking did.
How did he know that?
Wow.
He explains that he's like, look, sometimes I'm wrong, but there's different styles of killer, and there's one style of killer that is basically amazing that Mark just farted. In the
Sorry.
moment.
I hear
God
murder.
bless
I have my
Mark.
fart.
There's one that it is like somebody that's self-conscious about something, and that's why they kill. So they approach the woman in a way that's either they're really openly angry or there's something they're hiding. And in this case, he went through all the potential things a man could be hiding or self-conscious about, and then decided that he's like, it was a guess that it was a lit. And it was a fucking lisp.
Wow.
But he would guess what color a car was a man would drive because he said a man would choose a certain color car for different reasons. Like
Wow.
I find that shit so
That's amazing.
That's
fucking
incredible.
fascinating. And a lot of the guys that would be chosen to be in the FBI or the like CIA at this time, they would be kind of C students, and the FBI would ask you to go in because they would be good at something else. Probably I relate to this because I was like a D student, but they were like, there was some kind of inattentiveness to certain things, but an attentiveness to other things that would make them kind of FBI tap them, which is what they called it at
Right.
that time. And they would just kind of tap him to be an FBI agent. And they kind of watch the trajectory of him. I just think that's so fascinating. That people
Amazing.
Wow.
First of all, the people are watching you at all. Nobody's watched me for any period of my life. I was looking
You
at
say
some-
you're a bad student, but you're such a smart person. I mean, you always like.
I was a wild
I know, but you're always
emergency
reading.
moron.
You always have like the best take. Like also not just like do you read a lot, but I feel like you're always you always have like a great article to read. You always have great insight. No, you do.
Uncomfortable.
Oh, she doesn't like the compliments.
I know.
But it's like comics do this. They a lot of them we know. I mean, probably ourselves included. We knock ourselves down a little bit. But like,
Yeah.
you know. But anyway, sorry, I can tell this is making you uncomfortable.
No,
You stink. You're the worst. Is that better?
I need it to try
Yeah,
to
yeah.
internalize this.
No.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You've shared a lot of this murder stuff with me, and it's like it is fascinating that you can just crack this shit. Like a lot of these rapists have really tiny dicks. I think. And
Right.
A lot of these like East Area rapists. That guy.
Oh my God.
That's a crazy story, right?
Or
Patton
the-
And he would
Oswalt,
like snack after he would assault
Whoa,
people.
yeah.
And that's the kind of shit that I'm fascinated
terrible
by. Like,
ad for Ruffles potato chips.
Can't
Like
just
he would
have
assault
one.
him and like hang out and make Annie's mac and cheese afterwards. Like, I didn't know why he does that.
To me, that makes me more nervous. Like, don't look at my fridge. You can fuck me in the ass, but my cupboard is embarrassing.
But I just find those types of insights so fascinating.
For
To be able
sure.
to read people is the coolest skill
So
in the
cool.
whole
Yes.
world. And it is a fascinating.
That's what we try to do with comedy.
Yes,
and
you're
they're
right.
doing
That's
a
probably
different-
why I
they're doing a
admire it
different
so much.
Type
Right.
of it,
But I was a wild moron in school. Like they did a lot of scans on me. I was always being scanned.
Scan.
Scanned, like literally brain scans, like suction cups on my head.
but oh no.
Because I was that dumb that people were like, why is she like this? We need an immediate solution or suggestion to how we can help her, because they thought I had various different learning disabilities, including something called figure ground, where you can't tell the difference between one person speaking and a sea of voices. But it was just that I was bored, I guess, by whatever the teacher was saying.
Right.
And then so my parents were always scanning me. And I remember one time my mom and dad arguing about me, and I heard them in the middle of the night, and my dad goes, "She's not normal, Karen, shit."
Oh, that'll keep you up at night, huh?
And then my mom was like, "Well, we'll scan her again, Howie. We'll keep scanning her. We'll figure it out."
Wow.
But I really believe that my emergency levels of stupidity were just infuriating and harming my entire family.
I had similar stuff. I remember my mom fighting with my teacher in 3rd grade, and he was like, "He's special needs," and she was like, he's not. And then she's like, "Let's get out of here," and she grabbed me and ran out.
So you really struggled in school too?
Oh my God. I did this thing where we were circling instruments. It'd be a page full of objects like, a hammer, a nail, a violin, a piano, a book bag, or whatever. And it said circle all the instruments, like musical instruments. So I circled them all, and then I circled a saw. And so they're like, "You see, he's stupid. He circled a saw." And my mom was like, "Well, don't just call him stupid. Let's ask him why he circled the saw, and then we'll..."
Let's ask him why he's stupid.
Yeah. "Why are you an idiot?" So she goes, "Why'd you circle the saw?" And I said, "I saw Marx Brothers movies where Chico plays a saw." And she was like, "Oh, well, there you go. Stop yelling at my kid and calling him a retard. He saw a movie."
That's really cool that your mom asked that follow-up question.
Yeah,
it's cool that you were into comedy at that age.
And that you're into comedy.
And it was the Marx Brothers, which is like pretty high-level comedy.
Well, my mom was so out to lunch. I was like, "I love comedy. I love Bill Murray. I love Chris Farley." And she's like, "I got you."
Out to lunch, streaming on YouTube right now.
Meaning like she got it for you?
Yeah, she went and bought Marx Brothers VHS tapes, and I was like, but I still watched them, and I loved it.
My mom got the Laurel and Hardy one.
Oh, really?
VHS.
Yeah, I wanted Eddie Murphy or whatever, but she got that.
I remember Eddie Murphy was the best.
Yeah.
He's just one of those guys you knew immediately was like a wild star. Like, there was nothing he was going to be but a star.
He has it. If anyone has it, it's a young Eddie Murphy. But yeah, so I circled the saw, and it was nice that she dug in a little, like, why the saw, instead of just going,
"That's so
stupid."
cool. That's so important.
Yes.
Like, that's so wonderful as a parent that she did that for you and that you remember it.
Of course.
It's those little moments, especially after so much rejection. Like, when I even smell a school, like when I was nannying and I have to go pick a kid up at a school, it would just take me back to all that wild rejection and terrible feelings I had at school of just being such a failure. And I still remember, though, this one teacher that said to me, I was like in the bathroom and I was like washing my hands, and she was like, you're smart. And I was like paralyzed with fear at a compliment, just like I was just then. I'm like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yes, you say and write smart things." And then she walked out of the bathroom, and I'm like, that carried me through like 10 more years of my life and probably helped me be a comedian. Just that one person then just didn't see me as some kind of emergency level problem.
Right. Same.
Yeah, I think that's so important.
I know.
We should wrap this. We got to do a Patreon too, and we're going long. But
you're right. You
got Rachel, plug. You have a new album out with Jessica Kirsten.
Yes, Jessica Kirsten who's the funniest person ever.
Love Kirsten.
She's so hysterical. I just was with her in LA promoting our prank album. And it really we made a prank album. And that's what got us through COVID. I was like pregnant in COVID, married to a firefighter. She lost her dad. Like her dad passed during COVID. Yeah. And we just decided to go make these prank calls and just like do what we did when we were in high school that made us laugh. It just took me back to that place of just before there was the business and all these other things. Just laughing with a friend and being silly and absurd. And we made a prank album, and it's called The Call Girls, and it's now for sale everywhere you can buy that kind of thing, like Spotify and iTunes and Apple Music and everywhere else.
Yeah.
Jessica Kirsten, follow her too. She's so
great.
funny.
One of the funniest or hardest follows in New York.
Oh my God, she
Brutal.
slays.
Kills.
What about
she got like 2 standing ovations in the same night when I was with her in LA. Yeah.
Wow.
Just did Rogan too. I feel like she's cooking.
She's very much blowing up right now.
She's awesome, man. I love her.
That's a great photo.
That's great.
Or a drawing.
How about club dates coming up? Any place people can see you on the road?
Yes, I'm in I can barely think right now. St. Louis. And if you go to my website, rachel-feinstein.com, I haven't put up that site, but I haven't put up that specific gig, but I think my next gig is a comedy festival in St. Louis. I'm at the DC Improv soon. I'll add all that stuff too.
Nice.
I haven't added either of those dates to my website, but those are some other ones as well.
Oh, I like this.
Winnipeg, Spokane. Oh, great club.
Nice. What is this, DOS?
Yes, and I'll be at the DC Improv and some other places. And if you're upstate, I'll be at the Poured Candle Bar upstate, I think in like a couple weeks.
Nice.
I'll post it all on Instagram. Just follow me on Instagram, Rachel.
There you go.
Rachel Feinstein _ Thanks, guys, for having me, and I'm real drunk.
We love you. Mark, what do you got, man?
I'm all over the road as well. Next week, I think I'm in Portland, Oregon. I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Dr. Grin's in Grand Rapids. Boy, I'm all over the place. Let's see, what else are we cooking with? Laugh Boston, love Boston, Brea, California, Vancouver, and New Orleans, Royal Oak, and Milwaukee. So check marknormancomedy.com. Watch our specials, Out to Lunch, get on the Patreon. Where are you going to be at, Fatty?
Denver, Phoenix, San Francisco, Dallas, Miami, all over, sammorril.com/shows. Yeah, I can't wait for all these gigs, so looking forward to it. See you guys soon. Listen to the Patreon, patreon.com/WeMightBeDrunkPod. Leave us a nice review. Gotham Studios, always the best. Beer Jew, we love you.
Yeah.
And keep listening. We love you.
Yes, here.
And follow Rachel on everything social media. Rachel Feinstein.
Yeah.
Not the sculptor.
No, fuck her.